About once every 2 months, I will wake up in a cold sweat with the urge to play some SWTOR. Maybe it's raiding, maybe I want to do some slam spam. Whatever the reason, I'll get a time card, hop on, play for a few hours, and then stand around on Fleet, realize that there's nothing for me to do, and log off. The itch scratched for now, it's time to go back to bigger and better things. So frankly, I was pretty surprised to check my inbox and see that I had received one of these SWTOR player feedback surveys. So I figured, you know what? Sure. Let me give you a piece of my mind. For those of you who haven't taken the survey, it's basically broken down into 3 parts. First, what type of content do you enjoy? Second, what do you think of the story? And third, what would you spend money on in the cartel market? So let's go through these one by one and very quickly break down some general thoughts that I have about the matter. I'll put timestamps down in the description for each of these depending on what you're interested in. So, what content do I enjoy? How about any new content? Where's the new operation? Where's NIMR4? Where's a new war zone? The answer is that it's non-existent. And that's the reason why pretty much every SWTOR kick ends with me standing around on Fleet, bored out of my skull. There's just nothing to do. And instead of providing actual content for the players to consume, SWTOR has been pumping out grindy retreads of old established content for the purpose of providing cosmetics. Galactic Seasons is a massive grind through old content to earn cosmetics. PvP Seasons is a massive grind through old content to earn cosmetics. Even the new gear system that they're releasing, well, guess what? It's a massive grind through old content, this time to earn gear by farming Nim Nephra over and over and over again. Now, I'm not opposed to a good grind, it's an MMO after all, but when a new system incentivized players to kill the same boss released in 2013, literally 10 years ago, I think that there should be a pretty big red flag that there is a problem. So, what can we do about it? Well, if we're not going to get a full new operation, a full new war zone, how about adding nightmare modes to the existing operations that don't have nightmare modes? Where's Nim R4? Where's Nim Kuraga's Palace? Where's Nim Eternity Vault? Like, you can go way back into the vault here and find old raids that don't have Nim content, slap an Nim on there, and people would be over the moon for it. So, what content do I enjoy? How about any new content, full stop? All right, part 2, the story. Down in the comments, help me to feed the algorithm by answering this very basic question. Do you care about Hedda Cole and Shay Vizsla? Like, honestly, does it matter in any way, shape, and or form to you, as a player, which of these 2 obnoxious Mandalorians win their Wang measuring contest? Because for me, the answer is no. After everything the PC has been through in the story, the main story, the Heart Cartel, fighting Revan, fighting Valkyrian, even the Galactic War, the conflict between Hedda and Shay seems just so small potatoes. Small, meaningless potatoes. The outcome of which will change absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. Additionally, the whole Malgus situation is so incredibly boring. Guys, the Legacy of the Sith trailer was released almost 2 years ago. We saw Shahar with the mysterious artifact and Malgus doing Malgus things. It was super rad. It has now been 2 years. What are they doing? And I don't mean that like, oh, I'm interested in the mystery sort of way. I mean that in the, they could have deleted this entire section of the expansion and nothing meaningful would have changed sort of way. Malgus is currently sitting in prison, and we've waved our finger at him and called him a naughty boy over and over again now, accomplishing absolutely nothing. Sahar, that's the green Twi'lek by the way, in case you don't know who I'm talking about, has shown up like 5 times in cutscenes. I cannot make this any more clear. I care more about the strange odor coming from my workplace microwave than I care about Shahar. She is a meaningless nobody occasionally affiliated with a meaningless plot that is only considered dangerous because Malgus is involved, and we've been kicking Malgus between the legs for the better part of a decade now. There is no threat and there is no reason to care. Mystery plots are fun when there is a clear and present danger should the mystery not be solved. The information needs to be distributed in a meaningful and suspenseful way. When we can respect the threat and find the villain engaging, players are more than happy to dive headfirst into your mystery storyline. The Agent is an excellent example of this. But just telling the audience that the monster behind the curtain is a very scary rogue and wiggling your fingers at us is not engaging. It's the same sort of thrill you get out of a middle school haunted house. Adorably bad. And Even worse, the player character is boring. He's a dull wreck. Back in the base game, each class character had its own blend of wit and charm. The warrior was a human wrecking ball, the agent a sly schemer, the knight an anime protagonist, the smuggler a witty goofball. Each had its own style and personality. And then they decided to mash all 8 of those personalities into one horrifying amalgamation of every character into one single emotionless Lego man. And somehow we expect that to represent everyone. And it fails spectacularly in the process. And when that Play-Doh person is busy single-handedly fighting off the most dangerous threats in the galaxy, it makes it really hard to care about lesser scale conflicts. It completely breaks immersion to have to go do something like, say, questing in an MMO, the basic fundamental building block of this genre. Because who is this random Mandalorian lieutenant, and why do they think they have any right to tell me to do anything? The Alliance commander wakes up and chews on extragalactic threats for breakfast, and I don't think they're going to take time out of their busy schedule to take care of killing 3 Mandalorian elites for you, Miss Faceless Lieutenant who has never appeared before and will never appear again. Go figure it out yourself. I've got an interdimensional demon to slay at 4, and I really can't spare the time to be pissing about in your meaningless infighting. Kick rocks and die before ever considering asking me for favors again. Thank you very much. Look, a story requires the threat to feel threatening, consequences to feel consequential, and characters to have character. And right now, this story has none of it. Scrap this garbage and call me when you found the balls to write something worth caring about. Finally, there was a whole section on the Cartel Market. Now, the Cartel Market is basically SWTOR's crystal meth. It provides a quick high for the developers to rake in money while contributing absolutely nothing but empty calories to the core game itself. It's an easy way to separate existing players from their hard-earned cash while attracting no new players in the process. If you watched the last livestream, they dedicated a whole segment to the shiny new die packs and weapons that will be available for purchase within the Cartel Market. Now, I understand that they have to shill this garbage because there's plenty of whales out there who are frothing at the mouth to slap a snazzy new die in their outfit. I'm sure that Broadsword will rake in a nice chunk of change from those poor souls who are so desperate to play Space Barbie that anytime a shiny new item appears on the market, they can't help but reach for their wallets. But 2 things can be true at once. 1, focusing on the Cartel Market will keep this game alive. And 2, focusing on the Cartel Market has and will kill this game. Because for as much as it drains the bank accounts of plenty of suckers, it does not attract any new players or draw anyone back in who has left the game. It is empty calories. It is crystal meth. It is a pact with the devil. Immortality for your game in exchange for your game's soul. If you don't get the message, kick rocks with your blasted Cartel Market. I'm trying not to swear very hard, but I think I've made my opinion clear on this trash. And the fact that it has an entire section of your player feedback survey dedicated to it is the saddest thing I have ever seen. But why do I care? Why make this video? Because I weep over the corpse of this game. Because I saw the potential of what this game could have been. Solid core gameplay, great PvP, well-designed fights, excellent writing, a passionate community. It was all so close to greatness. And instead, this game settled to go wailing and retreading the good content they produced a decade ago over and over and over again. It is a game that peaked in high school and still wears around its Letterman jacket while working part-time in a pyramid scheme. It is sad to see such potential settling for being a mediocre leech. Now, this last part of the video is a very special message. I know that there are some developers subscribed to my channel, and if you are still here after I have lambasted your game, congratulations, mad respect to you. What's up? I hope you're doing all right. I need you to know that I am still rooting for you. I want your game to be worth coming back to. But if you're going to get there, you need to have some balls and make something that's worth coming back to in the first place. If the game's gonna die, at least go down swinging, man. Make content, make raids, make new PvP, make a new class for goodness sakes. You've disconnected the classes and stories for a reason. Take advantage of it. Do something, man. Come on. Or don't. Eat the empty calories. Get on your knees and go out silently. What do I know? I'm just a lowly player who wishes that your game was worth playing.